understand. My parents were born in Lebanon and they moved to Windsor, right? I was born in Windsor, Canada. That's where I was born. They taught me only how to speak Arabic and sent me to school. Do you know how crazy that's psychotic. I went to kindergarten, didn't know, my dad dropped me off and he goes, okay, man, have a good day, and drove off. That's the first time I heard English. Do you know how crazy that is? I'm like, come back with that language.
It would be Richard Pryor, Mike Epps. My uncle showed me tapes of Eddie Murphy, Andrew Dice Clay, my father, my mom. They're very funny when they're not, like naturally I feel, when they're not trying to be funny. Good storytellers. My mom, both parents, but my mom always instilled, she raised us with respect and humility. So that's something I carry forever. She would always tell us, and still tells us, that we all also just a family when we're together, just always telling stories, cracking on each other, and we've just kept that humor. My brother will call me and tell me stories about the family and stuff like that. So and I look forward to that. And I don't know, Windsor, for me, it was like community as well. Grew up, I never forget that. There's something about it, I'm probably not doing a good job of explaining it, but that'll never leave me. Just the memories here. Mr. D I got on there all from Jerry himself. Jerry D had seen me we knew of each other, but he saw me at Just for Laughs in the summer, and then he said very nice things. I respect him. He's a wonderful performer, super funny. He was coming here. He was doing a show at the arena here in Windsor. I hit him up, and then he was like, "Do you want to open?" And I opened with the biggest crowd I've ever performed to. Super generous. And then he was telling me that there was like a role for me on the show as a teacher. And then I went, and he got me on. I mean, it was great. The experience I gained, I've told him like a bunch of times, and I'll never forget. Because at that time, I think I did MTV Live, but that was my first time like acting on like a sitcom. And the experience I learned, and it was the set, the production, everybody was super sweet. The other actors and actresses, it was amazing, man. I learned a lot. I had a lot of fun. It's called Comedians of the World. It's on there now. It's worldwide. It's globally. So what they did is they went to different countries and they picked four comedians from each country. And they picked 4 from Canada, and I was one of the 4. I found out, my agent had called me, and he said they put your name in the running. And then I think about a week and a half later, he was calling me ecstatic. I was ecstatic. He's like, you got it. And then we filmed it in Montreal at Club Soda. For sure, I know, one of the greatest top experiences I had. Netflix themselves were great. They allowed you to be the best, like the most creative for yourself. And they were so chill, man. It was one of the chillest experiences I ever had, to come up with like a dope ass product, and I had fun. The crowd it was like about, I think, 500 people. Great opportunity, and it's something, as a comic, shit, man. That's like one of the top things right at this period you can attain, strive to get. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity. I'm super proud of it, and it took about like a year and a half to put out. We were trying to sell it, and then we just put it out on our own.
Dave Merheje!
Junos is an amazing thing. That's in this country. I was super happy.
I want to just give it up for all the people that were on there, because comedy just got back into this. We should support Canadian comedy, and that's dope. Give it up for all of them. They did their thing. I want to thank Millen, Morgan, and Matt for helping with the album, and my daddy's here because that's the source of my comedy. Love you. Thank you.
I did it in Toronto because that's where I did most of my comedy. So people were out there from different years that saw me as an open micer to now. So it was a great collective of people in the audience. So the energy was amazing. It was the best energy. And the production let me do what I want. They're like, don't worry about anything. Don't worry about continuity in a sense. Just like if you have to get off stage and move around and do it. People will come out at you on the internet and tell you horrible things. They'll at you. They'll be like, hey man, your shit's whack. And you're like, everyone's has freedom of speech, but you're like, man, what kind of person? That means you watched the whole thing and then you sat back and you start firing at someone you don't even know. Is so sitting in your wherever you are. I want to do like a documentary on the hater like that. Just following. Like, did they go to Starbucks, open up the laptop, and send the, like, where do they even shoot this hate out? Like, are they on a bus, shoot the hate out, and then carry on? Do they have kids? Like, do they just tell some comic that they're a and then they go feed their child? Like, it's nuts, dude. Keep supporting comedy, like, you know, just not on all levels, man. Just like, especially this country, Canada has a lot of dope ass comedians, man, and you can find them on Just for Laughs. You can shit. You can Google search them. They're just like if you even at your local comedy clubs in your city, just go watch. You know, just don't go in there like, oh man, I don't know who they are, so it doesn't matter. Trust me, man. Nathan McIntosh, Alex Pavone, Arthur Simeon, Patrick Akeem, Sandra Battellini, Keith Pedro, Marito Lopez, Jared Campbell, Jen Sacato, you name it, man. There's too many. There's too many, but support them whenever you see them. Phil Luzzi, everybody, super funny comedians, man.